What's up, guys? So obviously I'm not there again today. I won't be there on Wednesday, but we got to keep or Tuesday, but we got to keep moving forward. So I want you to do this today. Normally, when we develop a speech, you write that speech. We spend some time doing that. Sometimes we'll even go over that writing. But for this one, it's not that important that you wrote a really eloquent research speech, right? This is all in good fun. So I want you guys, first of all, have fun with this. Make funny things up about your partner. As long as it's not offensive to them, that's cool. Do that. But I still want you to think about, all right, if we're developing a speech, what's the process we go through? So we write the speech, we get feedback on that, we do our edits, and then we go into performance mode. So you guys already did a little practice run with it. Now I want you to do a practice run in a little bit larger group. So 4 to 5 people at your table. Use the people at your table. If you're a group of 3 or 2, spread out, go to a different table, okay? Please don't be a group of 2. That's not going to work. You need more than one person giving you feedback. And I want you to look at this again. Remember, this is what we're going to be evaluating your speeches on. This is what I'm going to be looking at. This is what your peers will look at. Poised. You look professional. You seem calm and ready to get up there. You're not too panicky. Now, if you are panicky, that's okay in this situation. I'm not going to grade you on that this time. Really, this is about getting up there and trying. But think about it. This is the things we need to work on. Do I look poised and professional when I get up there and speak? Or do I look like a bundle of nerves? Voice, every word is heard. You're speaking clearly and you're enunciating. We're going to work more on some processes to enunciate better when I get back. Life, does it have passion and energy? Are you just up there speaking in a monotone, just trying to get through this really quickly? So whatever you have passion in what you're saying. Joke around, make it fun, okay? Eye contact, you're looking at your audience, right? You're not looking down at your cards the whole time. You're trying to look out and make connections with the people that you're speaking with. Just like I look at the camera here because I'm going to make eye contact with you guys. Same thing. That's how we make connection. Now, don't stare at anybody. You don't want to do this. This gets a little weird, right? So you just kind of scan the room, scan an area, go to another area. Again, we'll develop this further for this short practice speech. Don't worry about it too much. Just make some eye contact. Don't spend your whole time reading off a paper. Gestures. You can see me move my hands a lot. I talk with my hands. Something that doesn't come naturally for everybody. So you want to find things to kind of emphasize your points. When you want to emphasize, you can do one of these things. You can kind of point for certain things. Moving up and down like this. Even if you're holding cards, don't be afraid to use your hands and make gestures. It can also be facial expressions, right? It's not just about hands. It's also about your expressions and how they come out, your facial gestures almost, you'd say. And then, of course, speed. Your pacing is good. You're not too fast. When we get nervous, we tend to talk really fast. So don't be afraid to take a pause once in a while. Take a breath. It'll feel like an eternity because people are watching you, and you get hyper aware of that. But really, don't worry about it. Take a breath. If you need to, even just to calm down, just be like, okay, now I'm going to talk about this. Okay? And don't be afraid of that. Sometimes pauses are good. Sometimes it gives your audience time to think. If you ask your audience a question, then give them time to think about it. Right? So what you're going to do is practice, but we're going to do that in groups. And how I'm going to know you did it well is this. You're going to do a feedback sheet, and we'll do these every time we give a sheet, or every time we give a speech. Our peers will give us feedback. But it's a little complicated for me not being there to help you, so this is what I want you to do. You're going to have in Google Classroom, everyone's going to get a copy of this. Wait, hold on one second. Right here. This is our peer feedback sheet. And what you're going to do first, before you do anything, you open up your version, and I want you to write your name right here. So I put Mr. Helmer, right? So I put Mr. Helmer up there, and then I go up to here, and I'm going to share this with every single member that's sitting at my table right now, every person in my group. I'm going to share this document. So I go to share, I type in their email, and their email comes up, right? So if I put in their email, it's going to come up. I click on it, and I can just put everybody on there and share it with them. That way they have access and give them editing access. Because then what's going to happen is when it's your turn to go up and practice, give that practice run, you're going to put your name as the evaluator on their sheet. They've shared it with you, so you open up their sheet that they shared with you, whoever it is, and then you write your name down. So I put Mr. Helmer, since it's just me, but I put my other group's name, so, put Chad. Okay, so he would be the one evaluating me, and then he watches, and he kind of just highlights. I can highlight, oh, you seemed really confident. So I'm going to put a little, highlight there. And then down here, which is even more important than just highlighting numbers, I'm going to tell you why I scored you that way. What did I think earned a 5? or what did I think earned a 1, and why? Justify each one. So go poise. Why did I score 5? Voice. Why did I score 3? Eye contact. Why I thought your eye contact was 2. Do that. Tell them why so they can look at that and go, oh, I got to work on this at home. You're not going to have a lot of time to work on this one. It's not a big deal. But this is the process. So I want us practicing the process. All right? And so if you're number 1, if you decide to be the first person that goes, you are always going to put your name in the number 1 evaluator spot. Number 2 would be right here, and so on. That way no one writes on top of anyone else's stuff. Just decide in your group which number you are before you start writing. So if you're the 5th person, you write on number 5 only. Hopefully that makes sense. You've shared that. You're opening each person's shared doc when you do the feedback, and this should be the class today, right? Everybody goes, give them feedback. You should be able to finish this up by the time they're done, all right? Have fun, guys. Get practice.